welcome back to my channel. I'm actually quite excited about today's technique. So I will be demonstrating how to do well, a combination of techniques really. It's tuck and eyelets, combining 3 different yarns. So you've got your a chunky tape, viscose, and also viscose, but they're just different counts. So these ones are quite fine, and then I've got a chunky one with that for a really good contrast. I think with knit, it really is key to use different yarns. You get completely different effects, you know, when you experiment with different fibres and thicknesses especially. So let's get started. Okay, so I've cast it on and knitted a few rows. Now I'm going to be working in sets of 3s, so your number of needles needs to be in relation to sets of 3. So I've got 45 needles. Okay, my tension is currently on 9, and the tape yarn that I'm using is that right here. So that's a cotton mercerized yarn. That's my person one, and again, if you are interested in buying anything, do let me know, because I will be having a massive archive sale really. Okay, so I'm going to leave the edge 3 needles untouched and transfer the center needle of the next set. Okay, so we're working in sets of 3. The first 3 are untouched. The next set, which is your set of 3, the center needle gets transferred out to the right or the left, and that's an eyelet. Okay, so we're going to leave these 3 untouched, and in the set of next 3 we're going to transfer out the center needle, then the next 3 untouched, and transfer the center needle out, and just continue doing so all the way to the end. So I'm just fixing Okay, so once you have done your transfer, just make sure that all of your empty needles are all the way to the back of the bed in non-working position. So I'm going to go ahead and change my yarn to 2 ends of this really fine viscose. And my tension is going to go all the way down to 5 because it's quite fine. And I'm going to go ahead and knit 1 row. Now I'm going to transfer the needle on the left and right hand side of the empty needle out. Okay, so we will be left with 3 empty needles. So this is just your normal transfer work. Okay, so again, the layout is now 3 working, 3 empty, 3 working, 3 empty, 3 working, 3 empty. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and knit another row. And now I'm going to push forward the center needles, okay, of the sets of 3 that are not working. So the center needle of the empty needles, and my cams on my carriage move over to 1, which is my hold position. So I'm using silver reed. On your brother there should be a cam on the left hand side of your carriage which goes from normal to hold, so N to H. On my silver reed it's just the 2 cams, one on the left and one on the right, that go from 2 to 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change my yarn to this pink viscose, which is a slightly thicker weight than the previous one, and I'm going to knit 4 rows. So that's 4 rows on hold. pushing my cams back to normal knitting, so number 2 on silvery and N on your brother. I'm going to change my yarn back to the tape yarn, and tension goes up for this yarn because it's quite chunky. I'm using tension 9. I'm going to go ahead and push all of my empty needles back into working position and knit 2 rows. So that's my first bit of the pattern done. I'm going to change my yarn back to my silver viscose, so 2 ends of it, and tension goes back to 5. Now in the next set, I want this eyelet in between in here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and transfer the middle needle of this pattern, okay? So it's the center one of the 3 again, and then leave 3 untouched and transfer the center needle out of the set of 3. So it's actually quite easy if you just follow the 3 and 3. So 3 out, untouched, and the center needle transferred. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and knit 1 row, and then the left stitch to the empty needle gets transferred out, and then same goes on the right hand side. So now I'm left with 3 empty needles, 3 working, and then 3 empty. 3 working and 3 empty. So make sure all of your empty needles are pushed all the way to the back to non-working position and knit across. Okay, so the center needle of the empty set gets pushed all the way to the front onto hold position, cams on 1, and change yarn. Knit 4 rows, cams back to normal knitting, tension gets adjusted to 9, and push all of your empty needles back into working position. Change your yarn to the tape yarn and knit 2 rows. So that's the complete repeat pattern. So for the top end of the swatch, all I'm going to do is repeat that set right here, okay? So go ahead and do your transfer again. So this time it will be that one here. Three untouched, transfer the center out. Change your yarn and your tension and knit 2 rows. Sorry, knit 1 and then transfer either needles out. So then you're left with 3 working and 3 non-working. Change your yarn and your tension, of course, and push forward the center empty needle of each set. Hands on hold, knit 4, hands back to normal, tension to 9, change your yarn and push all empty needles back into working position and knit. Just dropped a stitch there. Okay, so that is essentially that swatch, but I've obviously done quite a few rows of it. Well, thank you for watching. Again, if you do want to learn any other techniques, do let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Follow me on Instagram, find my website, and just say hello. See you next time.